All right, everybody. Round three. This is the last video of the night I'm gonna do, and it's just some new stuff that I found and been eager to show off, I guess. Hold on, let's see here. Found this the other day. Didn't mean to run off there, but and I don't usually collect 45s or 7 inches, but every once in a while I'll grab one if I see it in the store for cheap or see it online for cheap. And I'll go ahead and show you this. I'm a huge Black Flag fan, and I found the TV Party 45, which is pretty cool if you ask me. Yeah, it's side one is TV Party, and side two is I've got to run my rules, which I guess is previously unreleased, but before this came out. But yeah, it's just a little 45. The yellow label on the vinyl. It's pretty much all yellow. But I love the song TV Party. It's fun. It's a fun song to listen to. It's just silly. But yeah, it's Black Flag. I love the album cover. It's these guys sitting in a living room just eating and drinking, and I love how dirty the floor is. It's ridiculous. All right, moving on. I'll go ahead and show this because it kind of relates as talking about punk rock and stuff, and one of my favorite movies of all time, and so I had to get this because it's the motion picture soundtrack, and that is the soundtrack to Repo Man, which is great. And if you've never seen this movie, it's Emilio Estevez and Harry Dean Stanton kicking ass, and the whole movie's scored with punk rock songs, and there's a alien subplot. I mean, this movie's great if you haven't seen it. It's a classic, and the entire thing is entertaining and hilarious all the way through. So this movie has my endorsement. It's in my top 10 favorite movies. It's so fun to watch. All right, and yeah, and there's so many good songs on here too. There's Iggy Pop, Black Flag, Suicidal Tendencies, The Plugs with a Z. Never heard of them previously. Juicy Banana, Circle Jerks, of course. Keith Morris. Burning Sensations. I'm not sure who they were either. And Fear. And so yeah, there's some good shit on here, and I found it for cheap, and I'm a huge fan of the movie, so I decided to get that. So that's something new I picked up. All right. Got a few more good ones here. Now this, I just now got. I had a really shitty copy of this before that. I don't know how it happened, but like. I got it from a friend of mine, and it was completely torn up, and like the cover was, and this album came out in 2010, so it's like it's not even 2 years old yet, but like the album had scratches on it. I'm willing to bet that either like an animal or a child got a hold of it at some point. But anyway, this is a good copy version, and it's my favorite album of 2010, definitely, and I mean it's probably gonna be if at 5 years' time from when this came out, it'll probably end up being like my favorite album in the last 5 years. So anyway, it's Public Strain by Women. If you haven't heard this band, you need to go listen to their first self-titled album first, and then this one follow up. They only have 2 albums. They released a split with a couple other bands with 1 song, and they've released some live video stuff, some footage. But other than that, that's everything they've ever done. And rumor has it that they just broke up. So I'm very upset about that because they're one of my favorite bands just off of the 2 albums that they have alone. So, and I haven't seen them live. It's funny, when I found out about these guys back in 2010, or no, I guess it was like about the end of 2009, right before this came out, they actually came to Dallas, and I had heard about them like literally 2 weeks after they had been here. So I started getting into them right after they showed up here. So shit like that happens all the time, it seems like. But yeah, so I never got a chance to see them, but I've heard they're amazing live. But this album is so good. I cannot say it enough. It's great all the way through. It's the best way to describe these guys would be like, I mean, they're a noise rock band, but like every song is so melodic, just packed with melody, and I just can't tell you how much I love this album. It's so good all the way through. Really cool album art too. Just looks like a blizzard on a city street or something. But anyway, yeah, Public Strain by Women. And their first album, self-titled album, is really good too. So you can go catch that too, get that also. But yeah, so I finally got a good copy of it. And I mean, I've listened to this more than most of anything else in my entire collection. Whether it be, I mean, I've burned copies on CD to listen to and in the car and hand out to friends, and I've bought 2 CD copies, and this is my second vinyl copy. So I'm all about this album. I mean, I just can't get enough of it. I think it's destined to be a classic. And seeing as they had such a short-lived, you know, life as a band, it's probably going to be, you know, they're probably going to be one of those bands that's like, that came and went, that will be considered great, you know, years down the road. You know, also Kurt Weill will probably be another example of that. Bands who never really got, you know, super popular, but at the same time, like, did pretty well for themselves. Although I think Kurt Weill just sold a song to a credit card company or something, so I guess he's doing all right. All right, I actually got this from a recommendation in one of Dan's videos, because he's a huge jazz fan, and I love jazz, but I'm not deep into it, and I've been watching some of the stuff he's recommended, mainly some of the Art Blakey stuff. Like I said, I'm a drummer guy, so, I mean, I play guitar and I play drums, but, like, I'm a sucker for a good drummer, so, any day. And this one's no different because Max Roach plays on this album, but it is Saxophone Colossus by Sonny Rollins. Man, I put this on, I just got this 2 days ago, and I've played it twice, but I put it on right after I got it, and I played it again today. It is incredible. It sounds so good, too. Like, it's a Prestige reissue. So, I mean, these things sound so good. It's ridiculous. So, I've really enjoyed listening to this. So, Dan, thank you very much for recommending it, because it's incredible. I don't have a lot of jazz in my collection. I've listened to a lot of jazz, and I'm not a, you know, what do you call it, an expert when it comes to jazz by any means, but I do appreciate the music, and I really enjoy listening to this, and this is one of the best jazz albums I've listened to yet. And, you know, of course, things like Kind of Blue and, you know, Mingus, 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 and stuff like that I've heard and everything, and they're great, but this, and the way this sounds is one of the main reasons I like it so much. It sounds damn near perfect. I mean, it's incredible. All right, I got time for a couple more here, but I found this today, actually, and it is the vinyl release of the Otis Redding and Jimi Hendrix Experience set at the Monterey Pop Festival, which is cool. I've seen the live footage, both the theatrical and the extended release, and classic songs. I mean, especially both. I mean, the Hendrix and Otis Redding. Of course, the Hendrix one was the story about him taking a ton of hits of acid backstage, and I think they flipped a coin, him and Pete Townsend, about who was going to end the show, and because both of them wanted to play last to go out with a bang. But I think that Pete Townsend won the toss, and then I'm pretty sure that's how it went. Pete Townsend won the toss, then Jimmy had to go first, and the Who closed. But anyway, and then Otis Redding's set is amazing too, so check that out. All right, I'm running out of time. I got to hurry up. All right, so I got Kurt Weill, speaking of, his new EP release called So Out of Reach. And it's great. It's just a 6-track EP. And I think it's great. I mean, I've only listened to it a couple times because I just got it like 4 days ago. It's a little bit different than his other stuff. It's more along the lines of his last album, Smoke Ring for My Halo, which is great. I thought it was really good. But it's more along the lines of that. It's a little more overproduced, but I like it a lot. I love the guy. I think he's a cool guitar player, and I love his voice, and I really like his lyrics. So if you haven't heard that, check it out. It's him sitting there at the soundboard. All right, and the last one I'll show for this video is the Black Lips third album, I believe. Either second or third, and it's Let It Bloom. And it's on In the Red Records, and if you've heard me talk about that label, they're really awesome. I like most of the stuff they come out with, and their vinyl sounds really good. Really good release. And this might even be my favorite Black Lips album. It's got some great tunes. Cool album art, too. So if you haven't heard that, check it out. Good garage rock punk band. If you haven't heard them, from Atlanta, Georgia. All right, well, I'm running out of time, so I got to go. Thanks, guys.